In order to find number 26, which says the square root of 89 is located between which two consecutive integers, you have to, you can put it in the calculator. So you can do the square root of 89. So you hit second x squared, and your answer would be B, between 9 and 10. You could also tell yourself, okay, this is between two perfect squares, which is the square root of 81, which is 9, and the square root of 100, which is 10. So you know that way you can check your answer. 27, it says, look at the equations below. Select the box in each row to identify if the solution for x is less than 6, equal to 6, or more than 6. So x squared equals 16, so you would take the square root of 16, that is, which is 4, so that's less than 6. X cubed equals 36 is, you would take the cube root of 36, so that's less than 6. X squared equals 64, you would take the square root, and so that would be 8, so that would be greater than 6. X cubed equals 289 would be greater than 6. X squared equals 36. You take the square root, you get 6, so that's equal to 6. And x cubed equals 256 would be greater than 6 if you took the cube root of it. Remember, do these in your calculator. For square root, you hit second and then x squared. And for cube root, you hit the number 3, the second button, and then the raise the roof button. 28 says triangle PQR and RST are shown on the coordinate plane. So you have those there. Notice they both have the same slope. So it says select the options that correctly complete the sentence. The slope of the line segment PR is equal to the slope of line segment RT because the ratio of PQ to QR is equal to the ratio of RS to ST. So if we go back and look at that, PQ to QR, rise, overrun, and we're going to compare that to rise, overrun. Linear equation is graphed on the coordinate plane shown. When graphed on the same coordinate plane, which equation results in a system of equations with exactly one solution? And so the answer to that would be A. If you were to graph this, I would change it to slope-intercept form, which means I'm going to solve for y. So I have 6x minus 4y equals 16. Subtract 6x from both sides, and you get negative 4y equals negative 6x plus 16, and then divide everything by negative 4. So you get y equals 3/2 x minus 4. So my y-intercept would be negative 4, which is right here. And we have a slope of 3/2, so I'm going to go up 3/2, or I can go down 3 and 2 to the left. And then we connect our points. And you have one intersection point at 0, negative 4. Number 30, Langston has $62 and to buy a new guitar. So to do so, he will need at least $200 plus 7% sales tax. If Langston makes $22 a week but always puts half in the savings for college, after how many weeks will he have earned enough to purchase the guitar? And so the correct answer for that is B. And so you could just work that out by adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing. Allison and Aubrey shopped together for art supplies. Allison bought 3 charcoal pencils and 2 brushes for $17.18. Aubrey purchased the same types of items, but she bought 2 charcoal pencils and 5 brushes for $26.56. So this is a system of equations. I would use charcoal pencils. I would make that my x value, and brushes would be my y value. So my first equation would be 3x and then plus 2y equals $17.18. And then the second one, the charcoal pencils is x and the brushes are y. So it would be 2x plus 5y equals $26.56. And then I would turn that into an elimination equation. So I would multiply the top by 2 and the bottom by -3. And when you work all that out, the cost of 1 charcoal pencil will be $2.98. In the table shown, x is the input and y is the output. So it says for the table, represent a function, which values can be substituted for the missing x value. So we need to find our rate of change. So first of all, from 12 to 17 is plus 5. From 17 to 23 is plus 6. And from 23 to 30 is plus 7. So let's find our other rate of change. So on the other side. So from 10 to 13 is a plus 3. And so we've got to figure out if we want it to be a function, our rate of change has to sort of be the same all the way throughout. And in this case, it would be 7 over 3. If you do change in y over change in x. So for the table to represent a function, you've got to make sure that your x values do not repeat. And therefore, 4 is out of the question because I already have a 4 right here. 10 is out of the question because I have a 10 right here. And 13 is out of the question because I have a 13 here. So my only choices are 1 and 11. Which ordered pairs should be removed to make the graph a function? So we have to make sure that none of my ordered pairs line up vertically. So, for example, right here, these 2 ordered pairs are in the same line, so we would have to remove one of these. And the same thing here. These ordered pairs are in the same vertical line, so we would have to remove one of those. So therefore, your answer for number 33 is D. 0, 4, and 3, 3. And we'll come back up here and check. So 0, 4, so that would be this one, and 3, -3 is that one. So if we remove both of those ordered pairs, this will stay a function. 34, which sets of ordered pairs are functions? You have to look at your x values. So here I have a 9, an 8, a 7, and a 6. This is a function. 5, 5, 5, 5, not a function. 4, -4, 2, -2, function. 1, 2, 3, 4, function. 5, 4, 5, 4, not a function. So your answers are A, C, and D. On number 35, 2 functions are shown, A and B. And the question says, select the box in each row to identify which function is described. So the first one says, the function with the greater rate of change. So we have to find the rate of change. Remember, rate of change is the same thing as the slope. So we're going to pick 2 points. I'm going to pick a point here, another one here, and then I'm going to draw my slope triangle to find my rate of change. So this is -1, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So my rate of change for this is -1/4. To find the rate of change here, from -4 to -1 is +3. From -1 to 2 is +3. From 2 to 5 is +3. And from 5 to 8 is +3. And the change from here to here is +1, +1, +1, and +1. So my rate of change here is, it's y over x, so it'd be 3/1. And so the greater rate of change comes from the table, because 3/1 is greater than -1/4. So that would be function B. The function with the greater initial value. So the initial value is where y equals 0, or where it crosses the y-axis. So in this case, here, that is at 3.25, or 3 1/4. And here, that is at 2. So 3.25 is greater than 2. So in this case, function A has the greater initial value. And the function that produces an output value of 0 when the input value is 13. So if we put 13 in to our equation, in this case, your equation would be y equals -1/4 x plus 3.25. And this equation is y equals 3x plus 2. And when you plug 13 in, your answer is function A. It produces a higher output value. Number 36, using the information, it says Sam is earning money by mowing lawns while Will is getting paid to tutor. So I'm going to compare Will to Sam. And it says Sam's money can be represented by the function M equals 25W plus 75. So M stands for money, and W is the number of weeks since Sam started working. And the table below models Will's earnings. So it tells you the number of weeks and how much total money he has earned since then. So it says select all the options that correctly complete the statements. So we're looking at rate of change. That is change in y over change in x. So the rate of change for Sam is 25, and the rate of change for Will is 20. So the greater rate, so Sam's rate of change is greater than Will's. And Sam's initial amount of money possessed before his mowing job is less than Will's initial amount before tutoring, because this is 140 and this is 75. Number 37, two lines, M and Q, are shown on the graph. Line M has the same y-intercept as y equals 2x minus 3, because line M has a y-intercept of -3. And y equals 1/3 x minus 3 has the same rate of change as line Q. If you look at the rate of change, it is up 1 and over 3. Which equation represents nonlinear functions? Select all that apply. So nonlinear functions cannot contain a square, so it would be C. And also nonlinear functions cannot have x in the denominator, so it would be C and D. 39, same thing. You cannot have x in the denominator, so B would be a part, and you cannot have a square.